I've always kind of been very thoughtful about my footprint on the environment, but I feel like especially in this class, it has given me such deeper consideration for what I can do.
I can make an impact, like how me myself can make an impact. I always thought like, oh, you have to do something really, really big or like super, super extravagant. You have to do something like awesome. I just said I have chickens. Here I am, changing the community.
I think I've gained like a lot more like confidence in my knowledge of just how to restore like a woodland and how to create a proposal for that because I've never really done this type of thing.
One thing I realized about myself is that I can take charge.
I learned about leadership. Our project consists of different groups and I was part of the budgeting group. I worked together with all the other groups to identify all what we're getting and the prices.
I played soccer like my whole life and I never was thought of as a leader because I've always been somewhat quiet. And then I realized that in the real world, people like me can actually be leaders, but they can just be different kinds of leaders. And sometimes I might lead by example more often, or I just am more selective on what I say and I'm not like a loud person. So I've learned that project managers can just be a lot of different kinds of people too, which I think is really cool.
I think personally, I just found out that I really like doing presentations. I don't know, I just like the pressure, I guess.
I'm not the most social guy, so I feel like I've been able to interact more with my community, meet these people who are really important for our ecosystem.
I learned that I'm capable of reaching out to adults in organizations and being able to talk to them in a professional manner, and I thought that was really cool.
I realized that I really like doing all these different projects and having other people who care about the environment like I do.
Also, how important it is to reach out to other people and to know that you're not alone in this and that other people can help out and that you shouldn't be scared to do so.
It shows that we had determination as a whole entire group, not just one person collectively, but everybody. So if we had a problem with one, we'd all come together and we'd find a way to fix it.
I think this was a very good opportunity to do teamwork and then also be okay with some problems, and with all the problems that kind of came along with the location and then how are we going to make the garden. A lot of the teamwork really helped planning it through.
I've learned that I'm able to collaborate with others. We're able to work together, solve through problems, and just be a good team and make sure everyone understands what we're talking about and just really make sure that everyone's on the same page.
I have really improved by just seeing how much of an impact that we have made on other schools and the community around us in general. Learning from that how I can carry on and make other impacts in the future.
I feel like something I learned about myself is that I'm really passionate in caring for our watersheds. I was able to learn a lot about why we need to protect our watershed and why it's a massive factor in overall the current environmental crisis that we're looking at. And I was able to understand how passionate I am as an individual about this project. So yeah.
I feel proud. I mean, that's one word. I feel proud.
We know that we can try to make an impact and hopefully it'll continue on and other people will learn that it's possible even if it's hard. And as the lower schoolers see this because it really impacts them, then they can be oh, they did this a few years ago. Maybe we can add on to this or do something similar to help the school even more.
That's why I'm doing this, because I actually care about our environment. Hey, look, if we are here only for this amount of time, short amount of time, if we can do something that has a lasting impact, that impacts the future generations, that impacts people living hundreds, maybe thousands of years from now, it's our duty to keep this earth basically keep it sustainable for all of our grandchildren, all of our future ancestors, to enjoy the same things that we do. It's just such an amazing feeling to walk into nature, see the diversity and go, yeah, this is the reason that we live.
There's so many terrible things happening to our environment right now, and it feels really impossible to counteract that, especially since we're in high school. And this was really an incredible experience because we started off just trying to kind of make an impact at our school and our local middle school. But we realized that this could turn into so much more, and it starts from these local, very small initiatives, and you can grow into something really amazing.
It makes me feel good to help my environment and help my community and just improve the world around me and make it a better place.
Where we have the garden now is where everybody kind of gets dismissed, meaning that they can see it when they walk out, and I really hope them seeing it kind of makes them notice that this would be fun to kind of take action and help around.
It feels amazing to share with our community what we know and to raise awareness for our watershed.
I've always really wanted to make a big change, like make a difference. It's just nice to get started small, but just like getting into the habit of actually trying to help people, trying to do stuff. I really want to keep going.
I think it feels like really inspirational knowing that like our actions can make other people take initiative on what the problem is, getting more people to plant native plants and learning more about what they do. I think that's really good.
Doing this, it just makes me want to go and kind of try to grow this bigger rather than completely being like, oh, I made a change, now I'm done. It just makes me want to continue and grow this.
The trash going to the dumps, 75% lower. That is a big number. Like, you can just divert that much food just to go to our chickens, and there's 12 chickens, 75%. That's a lot.
They've gotten a lot chunkier, let's say that.
I think that the hardest step is always the first step that you take to put yourself out there. But once you get over that first step and you just keep going, it'll always kind of come back to you and reward you in experience or some other way that maybe you're not expecting.
Even just the smallest of steps can make a huge impact on your community.
It doesn't have to start off big. You can start off small by just picking trash. It doesn't have to start off big like that.
I would just say get started. We don't have time to wait with the condition that the environment is in right now. So it's really important that everyone are all very hands-on.
I would say to not be afraid to do it. Some people in our class are a lot different with different ideas, but you might be surprised at how many people will agree with you and will go along with what you might want to do. Just don't be afraid to work with other people because it will help a lot.
It's harder to do it alone than with other people. So it would be good to join a community with people that share the same beliefs as you, and together you can achieve whatever goal you need to.
And if we're all working together in the same sense, if we're all working towards one goal, there's nothing that can stop us.
Having different groups handle different things is really good, because sometimes it's not always easy for a whole big group to agree on one thing, but if it's split into different tiny ones, then it's easier and then it just comes better out as a whole.
With collaboration and determination, you can make it to the end and make a change.
Something they would need to know is research and observing, because you need to have a plan that will actually make a difference.
I would first suggest researching and getting a motive, because you have to have a reason behind why you do that.
I think it's important to make sure you understand what your goal is, because I think at first we were thinking that our goal was to educate people, but as we went on, we realized that we really wanted to reach out to the community and have people take initiative with the problem. And I think it's important to see that bigger goal that reaches out to several people.
If you try something and it doesn't work, you find out what's stopping it from happening, and then you can just keep pushing in that direction.
Never give up if there's challenges or complications, because that's only just how you can learn to be better or learn how you can avoid those mistakes again.
Just take a step. It'll show others that it's possible even if it's hard, and that if you keep going, it can really impact our environment and make our world a much better place.
Prepare for commitment, but allow motivation for that commitment, and then once you finish with that commitment that you chose to do, you will feel very rewarded with what you did.
Do not be afraid. Step up, because this is something small. It came from a couple words, and now it's this ginormous, beautiful thing. Be that change, be that difference. And one day, when you're older, you will look back and see the amount of stuff that you did, you yourself have done.
No matter how small you think you might be, you can still make large impacts.